Welcome to today's ESI podcast. Our subject, 2019 recruiting trends. Our special guest, Cheryl Zang. Cheryl is an HR business partner at eESI. She has spent 8 years in her field consulting with clients on a whole range of issues, including her passion, recruiting. Welcome to today's podcast, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Well, there have been a lot of changes in recruiting, especially in this tight job market. Cheryl, what do you think are three of the most important things that our listeners should know? Let's start maybe with marketing.
Well, actually, that's a great place to start because one of the biggest changes is obviously technology. Clearly, for years, we've had online job boards. Everyone is taking their applicants through job boards on the web. Even, in fact, young people going out to apply for jobs at fast food, they're sent back to apply online on their computers. But now you're even seeing where the screening process in the past, or in the past maybe 10 or 20 years, digital technology that'll read a resume. Well, now we're even getting into more technology where artificial intelligence can read a video interview, where the hiring manager doesn't even have to be in front of the person yet. They can, from their home or the corner store, in front of their phone, record their interview, and there is AI, artificial intelligence, that can read that. Those kind of things are on the forefront to help make recruiting easier for hiring managers and to meet the needs of the candidates out there who want their hiring process to be quick. And I did want to mention also videos. Even if your company isn't at the point you're ready to use that type of screening technology, now what we see companies doing is embedding videos, embedding links to their company brand, letting their employees maybe even be involved in creating a video and doing some of the talking, giving testimonials about what it's like to be an employee. As you're looking for ways to get the right people, to engage folks who are digitally minded, that's some of the new technology we're seeing and the routes that companies may want to consider going as they're marketing their jobs.
And those videos don't have to be professional. In fact, they're actually better when they're just amateur. A lot of companies are using their cell phones.
It can be real, it can be short, it doesn't have to be professionally done. People want to see what the real you is.
You were mentioning off-air earlier that if your company is used to using old tech, don't be afraid to do that. Just do it well.
As a company, eESI serves small and mid-sized businesses. We do their payroll and HR and a lot of their other risk management type of services. And as we work with that size of company, what we're seeing is even if they have the resources to put their jobs online, to take applicants electronically, we had an oil and gas company who was our client who they did that. They went online. They're like, okay, everybody can apply online. And as soon as they tell a candidate that, they'd walk out and they'd never hear from them again. And they would never see their application come through online. And even just using their phone maybe wasn't something that they were comfortable with. That client still uses to this day paper applications for people who come in and walk in to apply. And what I would say is whether you're a large company or a small company, if you're not meeting people where they are, then you're missing out on potentially great candidates.
Well, that brings us to the whole difference of generations. Different generations are used to different technologies, especially seniors. Tell us about that.
Even just the last couple of weeks, I think McDonald's, they're partnering with AARP to hire older generation workers because what we're seeing as a trend is folks in that demographic are staying in the workforce longer or retiring and coming back at a different level. And we're seeing that for two reasons. One is because sometimes they just need the money. Maybe they don't have as much retirement funds as they thought they did, and they actually need to make more money. And a lot of them, because they know that keeping their mind busy, keeping their body active is going to help them live longer and a healthier lifestyle. So people are choosing to work after retirement, and it's incumbent on us as employers to incorporate that into our workforce.
Well, they have experience, usually a skill set, usually have very good customer service skills and can develop a rapport with customers, and you're going to share a story.
I know of a company that took the time to hire a person who, for the last 40 years, had been working in roofing, had moved up in their field, was an excellent roofing estimator. To be able to incorporate that person into their company, they sent them to some simple computer classes. And by doing that, was able to take a person who was 60 and actually have them work for almost 10 more years for their company, bringing the quality and experience that you can't get everywhere. It's thinking outside the box like that and being willing to invest a little bit. Just like you would a younger worker, you may have to invest in their technical skills. Don't be afraid to bring an older worker up to speed in some of the other areas. It really is beneficial. We're seeing a lot of that going on right now.
A different kind of training for seniors, but certainly worth the same kind of investment you'd make with millennials. What about flex time?
Candidates are looking for companies that are flexible, and that can be anything from flex time to working from home, remote workers. They want work-life balance, and we've heard this for quite a while, but it's really incumbent on businesses to consider ways that they can make this happen. For example, if an employee has a child care need and needs to adjust their schedule, if it's something you can do where you have them come in 30 minutes later and leave 30 minutes later, try not to just automatically say no, because your willingness to at least consider what might work for an employee is really crucial to their success, to their happiness. In fact, a recent study of actually 19 to 23-year-olds, so the youngest folks coming into the workforce, over half of them, 51%, would choose a flexible work environment as a career goal that was most important to them. We're saying to our clients and to companies that we work with, try to find a way to say yes. It really is beneficial to you. You're going to be able to attract more employees, better employees, and as a small to mid-sized company, use that agility to your benefit. Maybe you don't pay as much as some of the bigger companies, but you can have this flexible work environment, and that's really attractive to folks coming in the workforce right now.
Let's talk about selection. In this tight job market, you may not always get all the skills that you're after, but there's a trend towards soft skills, finding the character and the individual who'll fit well in your team. Tell us about soft skills.
Focus on the soft skills such as resiliency, collaboration, creative thinking, maybe adaptability. You want to find somebody who is going to be able to work well on your teams, who's going to, no matter what knocks them down, they're going to get back up and try again. Because all the other skills you can teach, but those personal traits are going to help them integrate into your team and going to help them bring your company forward. Don't discount resumes with maybe a short job tenure or somebody you would normally feel is overqualified. If you're throwing away resumes for those reasons, you could be missing the folks with some of these softer skills.
What are some ways for a company, a smaller company or a mid-sized company, to uncover the soft skills in a candidate?
First thing you want to do is identify the job and your culture. So take 2 to 3 skills that the employee's going to need for the job and 2 to 3 skills they're going to need to fit in your company, and identify those ahead of time before you even start the hiring process. If you do, then you can gear your interview questions, your screening questions to narrow down your candidate pool. So that's step 1. Step 2, as you ask your questions, don't forget, once they answer first, that's going to be the answer that they would give, that they want to make themselves look really good. Take the time to maybe ask a sub-question. Dig a little deeper. Those type of behavioral questions will help you understand how they're going to react in those difficult situations, which is going to highlight some of those soft skills for you.
Another trend we're seeing in 2019 is a trend toward retention. What should companies know about retention?
In this day and age, what you're looking for as far as retention, I'm going to say a lot of it is some of the things that are tried and true, having good benefits. Respect and fairness. You want to make sure that you're creating an environment that employees want to come to each day. Recognition, rewarding your employees, making sure that you're giving individual recognition, one-on-one, some folks like that, and then also public recognition. So the folks that really tend to appreciate that more are being able to shine in front of their coworkers and maybe even in front of their clients or their peers in their field. But what we're also really seeing these days is the flexibility, making sure that what your supervisors and your frontline managers, the way that they're interacting with your employees is personal. And I can't say that enough. I know I'd like to give you a magic pill that you just give them a 401k and they'll be happy, but you've got to make sure that you're looking at the one-on-one, you and your employee, and what their needs are.
You also have mentioned in the past upward mobility.
Well, the group coming up really is interested in career growth. They do want it on a personal level, but at the same time, they want to know that they've got a path that is going to secure them for the future. Security is a big issue for the new group of workers coming in. Well, maybe you create levels of achievement and give them steps to move up in their career ladder. Now you've got folks who are engaged because they want to get up to the next level. And it really makes them more connected to you as an employer. And when you do that, guess what? You're keeping them longer. Any type of training you can give is always helpful. With ESI, we offer some training. We've got connections with other companies that offer training. Look for things where you can give them some opportunity for growth.
Thank you, Cheryl, for providing us a few 2019 recruiting trends. If you are listening to this podcast and you see the need to improve your own recruiting and retention efforts, why not call eESI and speak with one of their HR business partners? Outsourcing can take many forms, and partnering with a company like eESI means you'll not only have professionals helping you find and retain top talent, you'll also avoid many of the compliance issues, fines, and penalties that can arise when you're not on top of all the laws, regulations, and mandates. And there are quite a few. Plus, outsourcing your recruiting means you're freeing up time and resources to do what you do best, to do what you got into business for in the first place. So give eESI a call at 888-465-1171. That's 888-465-1171. Or send an email to hr@eesipeo.com and tell them you want to speak with an HR business partner. That's hr@eesipeo.com. Thank you for listening to today's podcast on 2019 recruiting trends, part of our goal at eESI of helping you simplify business.